Running a nonprofit without a plan is like assembling IKEA furniture without the instructions. You might end up with something that resembles a chair, but sit on it and you're going down hard. And nonprofits are no different. Without the right plans in place, things might hold together for a while, but sooner or later you'll be scrambling for grants, chasing donors, and wondering why no one seems to know you exist. If you're running a new nonprofit or even a seasoned one with big dreams but no real strategy, you will most likely struggle to secure funding, attract donors, and build sustainable programs. But here's the good news: you don't need 50 different plans to stay on track. Every successful nonprofit relies on just three essential planning documents that work together to keep money coming in, attract the right supporters, and ensure your organization actually grows. If you're missing even one of these, your nonprofit might not see its full potential. But by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what these three documents are and how to easily create them so you can stop guessing and start building with confidence. Let's dive in. But first, I want to hear from you. What is the biggest challenge your nonprofit is facing right now? Drop a comment below because your feedback helps me tailor content that's most useful for you. All right. The first plan is your strategic plan, your mission's GPS. And I want you to imagine two nonprofits tackling homelessness. Now, one of them was a student of mine, and we built a clear strategic plan focused on securing affordable housing and job training. The other, they just want to help and jump from one urgent need to the next with no real strategy. Now, which one do you think secured major grants and long-term donors? The nonprofit with a solid plan didn't just survive, it secured multi-year funding, expanded its programs, and increased its long-term impact. Funders and donors invest in organizations with a clear vision and strategy. If you don't have a plan, you're leaving money and impact on the table. A strategic plan is your nonprofit's business plan with a heart. It's a roadmap that outlines where you're going, so your mission and vision, how you'll get there, your key objectives and strategies, and why it all matters, the impact you want to achieve. And without a strategic plan, running a nonprofit is like running a marathon without a finish line. You might keep moving, but without clear goals, you'll exhaust yourself, lose focus, and struggle to make real progress. So how do we create a strategic plan without overcomplicating it? Because I know you're busy, so let's break this down into simple, actionable steps. And step one is to start with your mission, vision, and values. Your mission defines what you do, who you serve, and the impact you create. It's the reason your nonprofit exists and guides your daily work. Your vision is the big picture, the long-term change you want to see in the world because of your efforts. It's what keeps your team inspired and helps donors and funders connect with your cause. And your values are the guiding principles that shape your decisions and your nonprofit culture. They help maintain integrity and consistency in how you operate. They also make it easier to attract like-minded donors, volunteers, and partners. So step two is to conduct a SWOT analysis. So this means identifying your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It helps you understand where your nonprofit stands so you can set realistic goals and strategies. Now, I like to take this step further with a competitive analysis, looking at similar organizations to see how they raise money, how do they engage with their donors, what marketing strategies they use, and what programs they offer. Because seeing what's working for other successful nonprofits can help you spot opportunities and avoid mistakes and improve your own strategy. And step three is set clear goals and action steps. A strategic plan isn't just about big ideas, it's about execution. What do you want to achieve over the next 3 to 5 years? Your goals should be specific, measurable, and aligned with your mission. And once you have those goals, map out exactly how you'll get there. What programs will you implement? What partnerships will you pursue? What steps will turn your vision into a reality? And step four, set out how you will track your progress with key performance indicators or KPIs. These are measurable benchmarks that help you stay accountable and make sure your strategies are actually working. So for example, if you're focused on program impact, measure the number of individuals served, program completion rates, and client satisfaction scores. And step five, keep your plan alive. A strategic plan isn't a one and done document. It's a living guide for decision making. Set a schedule to review and update it regularly so your nonprofit stays on track. A strong strategic plan provides clarity, direction, and a sense of purpose. It helps you make better decisions, attract more funding, and create bigger impact. And when done right, it transforms your nonprofit from consistently reacting to challenges to proactively driving change. Now that we've covered the strategic plan, let's move on to the second essential document, your fund development plan, because even the best strategies won't work if you don't have the funding to back it up. Now, a small animal rescue I worked with relied almost entirely on one major donor. When that donor passed away, the organization was left scrambling, and we created a robust fund development plan that added annual campaigns, corporate sponsorships, and grant funding. Within a year, they had diversified their revenue and were no longer dependent on a single source to survive. In fact, they're still growing exponentially. Your nonprofit's mission might be inspiring, but passion alone doesn't pay the bills. A fund development plan ensures that you have a clear, diversified approach to bringing in the money needed to sustain and grow your organization. A strong fund development plan is more than just a fundraising calendar. It's a strategic roadmap that outlines where your revenue will come from, how you're going to attract and retain those donors, and what steps you need to take to ensure long-term financial sustainability. So instead of scrambling for last minute funding, you'll have a proactive approach to fundraising. And here's the biggest benefit: when potential supporters see that you have a well thought out financial strategy, they're more likely to invest in your mission. Funders and donors just don't look at impact, they look at whether you have a sustainable plan to keep that impact going. So, how do you build a fund development plan that actually works? Step one is to analyze your current fundraising efforts. Start with a fundraising audit. So, look at what's working and what's not. Now, I have a full video on this and I'll link it at the end of the video because it's such an important and detailed step. And step two is set clear revenue goals. How much money do you need to raise this year? What about over the next 3 to 5 years? Your goals should be based on your nonprofit's budget, your audit, and your strategic plan, ensuring that your fundraising efforts directly support your mission. And step three is to map out the fundraising strategies. Are you going to launch a monthly giving program, apply for more grants, run a peer-to-peer fundraising campaign? But outline your key initiatives and all of the strategies to make sure that they align with your overall revenue goals. And step four, plan for stewardship and cultivation. Attracting new donors is important, but retaining existing ones is even more crucial. A strong fund development plan outlines how you're going to thank, recognize, report back to, and engage donors, keeping them connected to your mission long after their first gift. And five, assign responsibilities and set a timeline. A great plan includes a clear calendar of activities, so there's always a next step in your fundraising pipeline. So who is responsible for each initiative? When will each campaign or event take place? And most importantly, what are the stewardship and cultivation timelines? And step six, again, set out how you will track your progress with key metrics. Plan to track things like donor retention rates, average gift size, total revenue growth. These regular check-ins will help you stay on track and make adjustments where needed. Now, I do have a 6-week program where we develop your fund development plan while I also teach you all of the skills to implement it. And I'm going to put a link in the video description. But when you have a clear strategy for bringing in revenue, you can focus more on your mission and less on worrying about where the next dollar will come from. And now that we've covered the fund development plan, let's move on to the third essential document, your marketing plan. Because even with a strong strategy and funding in place, none of it matters if people don't know your nonprofit exists. But before we dive into how to create your marketing plan, I want to take a minute to thank today's video sponsor, Click and Pledge. Because having a plan is one thing, but having the right tools to execute it, that's what makes all the difference. And Click and Pledge simplifies fundraising with everything you need in one platform. So whether you're setting up your donation pages and fundraising forms, to running full campaigns like peer-to-peer campaigns, launching text-to-gives drives, hosting video fundraising, or even turning Zoom meetings into fundraising events, there is no more juggling multiple tools or struggling with clunky integrations. Click and Pledge streamlines it all. It's the platform I personally use and trust, and here's why. Transparent pricing, fast payouts, top-tier security, and seamless Salesforce integration. It's all designed to make your fundraising efforts easier and more effective. Now, I've dropped a link in the description as well, so go check them out and see how Click and Pledge can help take your fundraising to the next level. And once again, a huge thank you to them for supporting nonprofit education and making this video possible. Step three, the marketing plan. Now, a youth mentorship program I worked with had an incredible mission. They were changing lives, helping young people find support and guidance. But there was one problem. No one knew about them. They struggled to attract volunteers because their message wasn't reaching the right people. So we built a marketing plan that focused on storytelling with targeted outreach. They launched a campaign called 1 Hour a Week Can Change a Life, and within months, applications doubled. That's the power of a strong marketing plan. You can have the best programs in the world, but if no one knows about them, how are you going to get the support you need? Marketing isn't just about promotion, it's about connections. It's what ensures your nonprofit gets noticed, attracts new donors, and builds trust and relationships with people who care about your cause. Without a marketing plan, you're relying on hope, hoping donors find you, hoping supporters share your work, hoping people stumble across your website, and hope is not a strategy. A strong marketing plan does three critical things. It creates awareness because people can't support you if they don't know you exist. It builds trust because donors and funders need to see consistency and credibility. And it drives action. So your audience isn't just aware of your work, but inspired to give, to volunteer, to advocate, whatever your call to action is. So how do you create a marketing plan that actually gets results? Well, step one is analyze what's already working. Start by assessing your current marketing efforts. Where are you getting the most engagement? Which outreach strategies are falling flat? Are your donors and supporters responding to your messages? Understanding your strengths and weaknesses will help you refine what's working and fix what's not. Step two is define your target audience. Who are you trying to reach? Donors, volunteers, beneficiaries, corporate sponsors. Each of these groups needs a different message and may respond better to different types of outreach. A one-size-fits-all approach won't work. You need to tailor your messages for each audience. So step three, now that you know your audience and where they hang out, choose your marketing channels. Where does your audience spend their time? Are they on social media? Do they prefer email? Your marketing channels might include local events, partnerships, YouTube, media coverage, but each channel serves a different purpose. So just make sure that your plan works together to drive awareness and engagement. Step four, craft your key messages. What do you want people to know about your nonprofit? What makes your work unique? And what impact are you creating? Why should someone care about your mission? A strong marketing plan has a few core messages that remain consistent across all platforms. This builds trust and recognition. And then once you have that, develop a content strategy and calendar. Marketing isn't just about promotions, it's about telling stories, sharing updates, and keeping your audience engaged. Your plan should outline what kinds of content you're going to create, how often you'll share it, and where it'll be published. Once you have a strategy, map it out in a calendar to stay organized and consistent. And step six, track and adjust. Once again, marketing isn't a set it and forget it. It's an ongoing process. Regularly check your engagement rates. So how are people interacting with your content? Website traffic? Are people visiting your website? And responses. Are your marketing efforts leading to actual donations? If something isn't working, adjust and refine. Now, it's important to note that these three plans do not exist in isolation. They work together, so your strategic plan sets the direction. Your fund development plan ensures you have the resources to achieve it, and your marketing plan makes sure people hear about it. When all three plans work together, your nonprofit doesn't just stay afloat, it thrives. And speaking of success, a solid plan is only part of the equation. Having a clear mission and knowing exactly where your fundraising stands makes everything else clearer. So up next, I've got two videos. One that will walk you through creating a powerful mission statement that attracts donors and keeps your nonprofit focused. And the other one will show you how to conduct a fundraising audit so you can quickly identify what's working, what's not, and where to focus your efforts for the biggest impact. Thanks for watching. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. And if you found this helpful, give it a little like, drop a comment because I'd love to hear your thoughts. And I'll see you next week.